Sorry for the wait. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? I'm Mari. I'm the minister here, and I hope I noticed the noise a little bit today, which is unusual. I apologize about that, but the spiritual vibration you can receive is great. So I hope you can energize today. Before we begin, I would like to welcome, same as last week, Barry, and share his findings, wisdom. He watched the lecture, which was the very first public lecture that Master gave. Do you know that one, the title? Which one? Oh, yeah, yes, yes. That one, it is the very first one, yes. But that was actually not like the public, not like this one, I guess. I can't think of the better way, but this was actually the official public lecture. Yeah, that one was more internal lecture, and this one is called the Principles of Happiness. Okay, please welcome Barry. Oh, let me put you on camera so everyone can see you online.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Mari. I really appreciate getting the opportunity to do this. This is with greatest gratitude to start speaking. But before I start, I just want you all to welcome my brothers here for the first time. This is my greatest happiness to have them here with me. Truly, truly a special moment to share Happy Science and to share this very special place that has changed my life. So should give him a little happiness after. So this lecture was actually done that I got. It was an hour and 45 minutes that I've just immersed myself into the principles of happiness. Master gave this lecture in 1987, actually March 8th of 1987. And it was his first public lecture. And most of the lecture went through was him understanding and sharing his path. And his awakening took place in March 23rd of 1981. And it took him 6 years after he started getting all of these spiritual messages from hundreds of spirits in the spiritual world. And he really took his time to discern all the information that he was reading, because as he received messages from the spiritual world, he became very aware of how the gravity of sharing information that was not true. And so he took 6 years of discernment to make sure that what he was getting was valid before he gave his first public lecture. And his first public lecture was the Principles of Happiness. And he described at length his need to authenticate everything, and because he began to realize the consequences associated with saying things that were not God's truth. Very serious consequences, because sharing something that is not strictly God's truth, you're not just affecting yourself, you're affecting others because you put them off track. And that is a very grave consequence in the world of cause and effect. And so he did, and that's one of the reasons why Happy Science is so serious about study and the exams that we take. Before Master started have his disciples do missionary work, his first thing for the first 3 years of Happy Science, he encouraged everybody to keep their mouths closed and study, read, learn. He was not in a rush to push it out, because he wanted us to become, realize and have the enlightenment of happiness before you start sharing happiness. So he took a good long time and built a very strong foundation around that. So the principles of happiness that Master spoke about are, what do we call that today? The fourfold path: love, wisdom, self-reflection, and progress. The first book that I ever read at Happy Science was The Laws of the Sun. And in The Laws of the Sun, the first principle, which is love, was really well described. And he spoke about 4 levels of love. He spoke about fundamental love. And that's the easy one. It's kind of come natural to us. It's the love I have for my brothers or my siblings, my kids. You know, you just can't help it. It happens. You know, you just love them, you know. But then above that level of love, there's a love called nurturing love. And that level of love takes a little bit more enlightenment. And that level of love is called, nurturing love. But it's the love that you get from, like, a teacher who goes beyond me and starts looking at we. It's the love of people that are in the civil service type of, hopefully, the ones that are in our Congress and in our government, that they are really beyond themselves and they're trying to help the community, they're trying to help society, they're trying to help the environment. So they're not internally focused. There's a lot of external focus on lifting humanity. Above fundamental or nurturing love is the forgiveness love. And forgiveness love even takes a little bit more energy. And these are people that, even though people do wrong or bad things, they still love them because they recognize the Buddha nature within all of us. And then above that, you have what is known as the love of a savior, like a Buddha or a Christ. They come here with teachings to lift up humanity. So the first principle of love, the first principle is called love, and those are the 4 stages. Love essentially is a wish. Love is a wish to do good for others at its basic level. The second principle is called knowledge. In 1987, he called it knowledge. Now it's called wisdom. And wisdom is learning the truth. It's about learning the truth from God's perspective. And how do we do that? Master has provided us with, I think we're up to 2,800 books just about truth in all different sectors of information, from kids' books to business books, because this is where we're experiencing a lot of trauma, is in all these different sectors of our lives. So wisdom, without the truth, we cannot really be free, because we're not aware of the environment and the truths about this planet. So he, these books and the Dharma that he shares with us is about wisdom, so that we can become knowledgeable, and that truth will set you free, because you're not living in blind anymore. The third principle is called self-reflection, one of my favorites. Self-reflection is, as we go through our lives, we get bumps and bruises, and as we go through our previous lives, we get scarred and marred, and all sorts of things happen to us, and our view of life gets a little tainted. Self-reflection is about looking inside of yourself and realizing all of these different tendencies that we've either brought with us or accumulated in this lifetime, and trying to polish them out. If you don't get the opportunity to polish them out, then we take them to the next life, and it builds. This life we have is such an opportunity for us to rid ourselves of these thorns that are in us that keep catching on different things in our life, so that we can move forward and clean ourselves. As I say, Master says, somebody can wash your face, but you have to refine your soul. It's only you that can refine your soul. And the fourth principle is called progress. And ultimately, the goal of progress is to conclude this experiment on us, and that is utopia on this earth, which is why it was created. And man is working its way back to this, building this utopia on earth. And how is doing that? You know, what do we need to do to build utopia on earth? We've been given all of the keys to it. We've been given the wisdom, the knowledge, the teachings, so that we can realize where we live. We've been given self-reflection to clean up ourselves. And then we've learned about love. These three items, love, wisdom, and self-reflection, actually flow into progress. Because without those three, you can't continue to build a utopia on earth. They actually serve towards achieving progress on earth. So I just wanted to share that. It was an awesome lecture. Thank you for making me dive into it. And I think I'll end there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barry. So yeah, if you would like to watch that lecture as well, it's available here and also online too. So just text me or email me, and let's all deepen the core teaching of happy science, and start from there. Okay. So yeah, we would like to begin my part of the seminar. Today I chose the topic on anger management. Okay, let me see. I think anger management is something that everyone, at least once in your life, we've been through this. If you have not, that's great. Please share me the wisdom. But so because of that, and also at Happy Science, let me see. Okay. Master Okawa, as Barry said, he's given so many lectures and books about essentially how to improve our life to a happier life by learning the laws of the mind, how the universe works, because that law itself, by learning or by knowing more about that law, we know, okay, this is the way to live. So yeah, he's given, this is Master Riho Okawa on the right bottom. And he's given more than 3,000 lectures, and today we'll be focusing on the anger management lecture. In this lecture, Master says, a happy science, our research is in happiness and unhappiness. And also he said, even while researching happiness and unhappiness, the ratio of anger has a relatively large portion. So yeah, let's, because of the time frame too, I cannot talk about everything, but I'm going to focus on one point. So I hope that will be a little, small wisdom for you to improve our life to be a better life. So as I said a little bit, there are many, many, many books in different languages as well. The Laws of the Sun is the one in the middle, which Barry found it, and it changed his life. And also Master Okawa, because he has such a strong passion to deliver the spiritual wisdom to you, he heard, okay, so not everyone reads books. Maybe like 1 out of 10 people reads books, a lot of books. So he said, okay, how about movies? How about musics? That's why he's been creating films and music. So there are many different ways to for us to gain wisdoms. Just so you know, even if you don't have time or you're not a reader, book readers, don't worry. Just search The Laws of the Sun on YouTube and you can find the movie. Okay, so to begin today, one of the main sutra is called The True Words Spoken by Buddha. It's this. So we would like to recite this together. If you don't have your copy, please receive it from Barry. Thank you, Barry. And we do this because we want to, receive spiritual light and also gain peace of mind. And one of the good things about reciting the sutra is that, human beings, how our brain works is we can only think about one thing at a time. If you can two things at a time, you are a genius. But usually one thing at a time. So that's why, as you recite, please just focus on the, what's written here and try to think, what does he mean by that? Okay? Okay, sorry about that. I'll just leave it here. The true voice spoken by Buddha, Ryuho Okawa. There used to be the light in the Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I would like to start the seminar part by listening or watching Master Ryuho Okawa's lecture. It's about 7 minutes excerpt, but it's, Master talks about some points, important points, so please listen. It's voiceover, so he speaks in Japanese, but you can hear, and also there's going to be subtitles as well. Let me fix that.
Today, I will talk about anger management. This is a topic that was originally requested from the International Division. I believe that even within our Japanese lectures, there is a lack of explanation, so I would like to first speak about it in Japanese. To manage your anger is, to use a different phrase, the controlling of anger. Recently, the importance of this has been strongly advocated. This is because it is starting to become a problem in Japan. Overseas, there seems to be many cases where patients go to the hospital, receive advice from psychological consultants and doctors while receiving treatment. However, this is originally a matter for religion. Since it is a matter of religion, I believe that we must take this task back. The teachings of Buddhism have multiple-sided subjects, but in the teachings of Buddha, if you continue to condense the core messages, it all collects into the ideals of the way the mind should be. For example, the 3 poisons of the mind, greed, anger, and foolishness, exist. Greed is something that you do not understand yourself. However, when viewed by other people, they will be able to tell that you have greed beyond your means. Examples such as wanting more money, more status, more prestige, more acknowledgement, a bigger house, or having their children do better. From the viewpoint of other people, it is very easy to see. Regarding various matters, most people do not understand their own greed well. The type of person that is the self-realizing type will believe that what they do is good. They are unable to conclude that their self-realization has turned into greed. In order to be able to determine whether you have become greedy or not, you must establish a habit of concentrating your mind and meditation. You must practice looking within your mind objectively. Greed is not a problem in and of itself. It often connects to the next set of anger within your mind. This is why the perspective of greed is important. You may think that one should just store off their anger, but anger does not spew forth if one doesn't have any problems. When anger comes forward, it is because what you thought about had not realized, or you were unable to achieve it. Society has numerous people living together, and even at the smallest form of organization, there is still a family. Normally, most people are earning their livelihood in an organization that is slightly bigger than the family. Since everybody lives with a free will, they will inevitably collide, of course. People do not just advance forward, thinking of the same thing and marching forward like an old army banging their drums. Everybody has free will. So when this is hindered, or people collide due to competition, anger will start to build up. Therefore, the variety of greed that everybody has become the source of anger. Everybody wants to realize this greed. However, people are unable to achieve it and also collide into various things, which in return turns into something destructive. At Happy Science, our research is in happiness and unhappiness. Even while researching happiness and unhappiness, the ratio of anger has a relatively large portion. While living alone, there may be times when one may get angry, but this is low occurring. However, if you are meditating in the jungle, a mosquito may bite, which may frustrate you. If a hyena is loitering around, you may get angry. You may also get angry if you are unable to receive any alms and go hungry. However, being alone, this does not occur often. Within a family, there are collisions that occur frequently due to anger. It occurs between parents and child, wife and husband, and even among siblings. This occurs between men and women as well. Referring to an insignificant situation, like going to school or work in the morning, and people are trying to move during a small amount of time, the family may fight. Mother and father may scold the child, or the child may get angry that his parents are late. Even if they do make it in time, they may have forgotten their homework, left the house forgetting something, and someone else has to chase after them. These kinds of things occur in the morning. Even at night, someone may come home late. And if these situations don't match up with each other, quarrels may occur. Even within a family, collisions like these may give birth to anger.
Thank you so much. How was it? Great, thank you. So yeah, let's go over some points that Master mentioned. So he said about the 3 poisons. Oops. Oh yeah, I will go over that later. So again, he said the ratio of anger has a relatively large portion. So I think it's very important to know what could be the causes of anger and how can we stop from being angry all the time. And angry, when you hear angry, you might imagine something that, someone being emotionally very angry. And that is anger as well. But there are different types of anger, which is like I recently heard someone saying quiet anger, and that can be a cause of so many things, or that can cause many sometimes disharmony with other people, or maybe some stress, or if that becomes something that you've been holding on to for a long time, but you don't recognize easily because it's something quiet, So, let's try to find that, or please, have that in your mind as well. And he said that to manage anger is to be able to control your anger. And based on Buddha's teaching, so Buddha is the Shakyamuni Buddha who founded Buddhism, as you know. He said, in the teachings of Buddha, if you continue to condense the core messages, it all collects into the ideals of the way the mind should be. And he mentioned about the 3 poisons of mind. And the first one was? Yes. Close. You're right, Julie. Anger is the next one. And the last, oh, that was fast, foolishness. So greed is something, excessive desires. When you're like, maybe when you're eating or when you're not doing anything, you might be thinking, I want more money, I need more status, like that. That's excessive desires. And also jealousy, hatred, and lastly, foolishness is ignorance. We're not going to focus too much today on the foolishness, but it's about not knowing the spiritual truth. So what is greed? He said, greed is something that you do not understand yourself. However, when viewed by other people, they will be able to tell that you have greed beyond your means. What does this mean? Think about someone close or your siblings, brothers, sisters. For instance, I have a twin sister. So she knows everything. She's like my mirror. It's just, and siblings, they know which button to push. Exactly, like you don't even know, but they know that button. I mean, when I was younger especially, now we have harmony, but like that. When you look at other people, it's so easy to tell, but when it comes to about yourself, it's so hard to know your true nature. That's what Master is trying to say. And he also said, from a viewpoint of other people, it's very easy to see regarding various matters. Most people do not understand their own greed well. So, in this meaning, it's difficult, but, it may be helpful to be open-minded to the people, to the advice that you may be able to receive from someone close. And sometimes that can be, hard thing, but that's one advice. And next, he said, today's seminar is about anger management. Why do we need to study greed? Is because these are connected. Greed is not just a problem in and of itself. It often connects to the next set of anger within your mind. This is why the perspective of greed is important. You may think that one should just store off your anger, but anger does not spew forth if one doesn't have any problems. I think that makes sense, right? And earlier I said the anger is also, it means like jealousy and hatred. And this is good to know because when you are jealous of someone, why do you think it's that? Yes. When you are jealous, this was a great wisdom for me when I read Master's teaching. He said, when you are jealous of someone, it's actually you are jealous because that person is your ideal person. So when you are jealous, when you recognize, you have a jealousy mind, it's great because you found about you know what your ideal is as well. So so please try to think, flip your thinking that way as well. That might be helpful. Now I would like to, who likes music? Great. Master, he's been creating lots of musics, and this one is sang in Japanese, but I love the lyrics, and it's maybe more for like a message for younger generations, but I think it's so important because in these lyrics, he teaches us, so Master Okawa wrote these lyrics, and he teaches us some hints on the mindset, like what kind of mindset you should have in order to have miracles happen in your life. Okay? So this is subtitled, so please watch.
生はそんなにつまらないかい。バカバカしい世の中だと思っているかい。この世は何もかも面白くいかなくて、腹が立って世間を飛び出したくなるかい。時にはどこかに姿を隠してしまいたいかい。知りたい時もあるさ。親の意見が腹が立って家を飛び出すこともあろうよ。彼女なんてできてもあぶくのようにすぐに消えてゆく。つまんないこんな人生つまんないと思うかい。金を稼ぐのになんで朝からネクタイを締めて会社に行かなきゃならないんだって不満に思うかい。世の中は悪い人に満ちて、世の中は君を迫害してばかりに見えるかい。親も友達も彼女も自分を裏切ってばかりだと思うかい。人はみんな君に嘘をついて、君だけが被害者だと思うかい。だから君には奇跡は起きないんだ。どうしてこんな簡単なことが君の頭にはわからないんだ。人や環境のせいにするなって、君たちの先生はいつも言ってるじゃないか。それぞれが始まりなんだ。自分の愚かさを自分が嘆かないで、一体人に嘆かしてどんな道が開けると言うんだい。だから愚かなのは君の頭だ。だから足りないのは君の真心だ。だから怒られるべきは君の行いなんだ。それが全部分かったら両目から涙が流れて、悔しくて悲しくて手をついて謝りたくなるだろう。その時に神の心が少しだけわかるのさ。若者よ傲慢になるなよ。赤ちゃんの心でいつまでも生きちゃいけない。夫婦になったとしても親も忘れちゃいけない。年を取ったらその分世の中にお返しをしなくちゃいけない。人としての当たり前の生き方が奇跡を呼び込む簡単な しく伝えたか人を苦しめて幸福になれるわけがないそんなことは誰だってわかるだろうだから素直に生きようぜはっははっははっはバカ息子はっはドラ娘はっははっははっは
Thank you so much. How was it? Idiot son, stupid daughter. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it becomes less sacred. But so yeah, I love this song. I hear it almost every day, and just with my noise cancelling phone, not phone, headphones. But he said, don't blame others or environment, and also, each little experiences are just a beginning, and live honestly with yourself. So today, let's focus on especially this part. Let's try to look into ourselves deeper, and you don't need to share this with any people. So please try to be as open as possible to yourself, and based on Master Okawa's points or teachings. Let's watch another lecture. It's only 1 minute, so please watch.
What is the result of anger? A certain type of toxin comes out. This toxin, through the words of people, will tarnish others. Normally, the words which tarnish others in fury will also be left accumulating in the other person's body to a certain amount. The person who spoke these words will also have the toxic gas within. They will start to create a poison gas production machine, and the people who are on the receiving end will also have the toxins accumulate. If there is dissatisfaction, anger accumulating within the family, and it does not explode in the family, it will blow up at work. But in relationships at your work, there are too many who do not think that something happened within the family. However, if someone were to understand their characteristics and are able to ask, what happened? They may be able to understand why they exploded. However, most people do not know each other's situations that much.
Thank you. So yeah, Master said about the toxin of anger. Let's think about this a little bit. So at Happy Science, we learned that our physical body is it's like a vehicle that we are driving in, and our soul, the spiritual part, which resides in our physical body, is the true part. And that soul is the driver. Hopefully I'm driving like a nice expensive car, but but we all choose our parents before we are born, and maybe we chose how we looks. I don't know that part. But running off the topic, sorry about that. But so that's the main part. You are the driver, and whatever reflects on the car, the body, is the result of your, I guess, mind, or accumulation of your thoughts it comes out on our body. So that's also a hint too. And when you say something negative, especially out loud, it's not good for you. It's because when you say something out loud, you also hear it, and the more you say, it sinks in your subconscious. And when you have lots of negative energy within your subconscious, you may create your own sickness, cancer, but then when you change that part, reverse that. That's the time when you might be able to experience miracles. So that's this secret mechanism of how miracles happen. So that's why learning the spiritual truth is a great thing and so important. Okay, let's watch one last excerpt, because you may think I'm actually pretty good at controlling my anger because I've been studying happy science and whatever the reasons are. But you may have someone who's always angry at you, or at work, someone you cannot just avoid. Let's hear what Master has to say about that, or what can we do to prevent from getting that toxic gas.
There are things one must communicate, but you must be able to parry these attacks without directly getting hit. Regarding this, in Buddhist scriptures, there are various methods in how one can accept and react to these words. For example, it is like carving into a rock. This is a behavior of grudge holding, where people hold on to words for years upon years. Or another, where it would be like writing in mud or sand. For a moment, the words take shape, but after some time, with the wind blowing and animals walking over it, it disappears. This would happen if it were written in mud or sand. There is also a method that is like writing on water. Even if you write words on the surface of a small river, it would disappear immediately. This third method is what Buddha teaches. He often spoke about a method that washes away, similar to writing on the surface of the water. This may seem like a simple lesson for children, but it is a very important message throughout your life. Being able to do this is the discipline. Whether you can control your anger or not is crucial for the path towards a master. It is extremely important.
Thank you so much, Master Ryokawa. How was it? So I think it was a good example, very easy to understand, that Master said. So please think. It depends on the person too. We may change how we accept words. When you hear those, are you carving onto a rock, or are you just writing some words like on the beach, and water may wash it away, or you can also just let it go, write it on the water, but like maybe after meditation, it washes away. So these are some of the points to be able to understand more about yourself, but also, even if you're not angry, but someone is angry at you, you can create your mind like a mirror and just show them how they looks like, so it will like go back to them instead of receiving that anger, the toxin, into your body. Okay, so I would like to take a few minutes to do some reflection. I'm just gonna play some calm music, so please relax. Please straighten your back and close your eyes. Okay, let's focus on today. What time did you wake up? And after you woke up and until now, what kind of thoughts did you have in your mind? Do you see any negative thoughts? Anger? Any wrong thoughts? Any wrong actions that you regret? Any negative words that you regret from saying? Please reflect. Okay, slowly end your contemplation. Thank you very much for your guidance. How was it? So this is something very quick, but I think it's very useful in your daily life too, especially if you cannot find peace of mind easily. Please just close your eyes for a few minutes and try to receive positive light from heaven, from your guardian spirits, but also try to reflect, because as in the song it said, don't blame others or environment, but there's laws of cause and effect exists in this world. Whatever you think in your mind, no one can see it, but that comes out, in our daily lives as a result. Okay, so today we learned mainly about the 3 poisons of mind, focusing on greed and anger, but in foolishness. So it's important to keep gaining spiritual truth, wisdom, like what we learned today, because even if you want to self-reflect, if you don't have the guidelines, it's very difficult to do self-reflection unless you are a Buddha. We're on the way, but not yet. So one of the best thing to do is just recite the true words spoken by Buddha whenever you feel like you need light. Okay, so but also coming here is very, very important. I recommend. We are open every day except for Mondays, and if you need any support, spiritual support, prayers, this is why we have Sangha. We pray to each other, wish the best for each other. So if there's anything I can do to pray for you, please email me anytime, 24 hours. I will be going back to Japan soon, and I may cause you any inconveniences. I apologize, but I have great leaders like Barry, everyone, T, Julie, everyone. So thank you so much for your support, everyone, and it was nice to have today's service as well. If you have any questions, please email me or talk to me after today. And if you're joining through online, if you have any questions, please leave comments, message us. And if you would like to receive the Sutra, true words spoken by Buddha, you should do it. We recommend you. So thank you so much. This is the end of today's service. Thank you so much.